Hello and welcome to 200 First Dates. I am your host, Sam Bear, and our mystery dater, Susie, is back with us again with another, I'm sure, delightful series of check ins. Um, so, to be clear, and as a little reminder, Susie and I have known each other for over a decade, and Susie is a nom de plume. That is not her actual name. We keep a lot of details about her somewhat hidden until the time when there will be a reveal. But what this means is that I am finding out in real time, just like all of you, what has been happening in her dating life. And let me tell you, I don't like it. For the first time in a decade, we have had to censor our phone calls because we refuse to talk about this unless it's being recorded. That's where we are in our life. So, without further ado, and I feel like this just has to be said simply because I have the power to say so. Susie's not wearing a bra right now, and like Nips is out to
Neither
play.
am I.
Okay, it must be
I
cold.
just got out of the pool. It's a tad chilly.
Yeah, it clearly is. Anyway,
I wanted to entertain your day, give you a little bit of a show. Most people
let
would
me.
be paying me.
Okay, that's a whole nother thing. Well,
I'm just saying it's one way to show gratitude.
I'm certainly distracted. Anyway, let's jump in. As a quick reminder, Susie and I just did the math. And by us doing the math, I mean she checked her date diary, and thank goodness for that. So we last left off with a 187 dates to go.
Yes.
And this is, as a reminder, this is 187 unique first dates. So we are getting check-ins if you see somebody more than once, absolutely, but those second and third dates don't actually count to the 200 date total. So we've done all the reintroductions. We're 6 weeks in. Let's dive in. We film on Monday, so we're catching up. Did you have a date on Tuesday last week?
Hang on, I'm gonna burp. I shouldn't be drinking carbonated beverages. Cool. I know, I'm a lady.
The classiest.
Everybody wouldn't want to date that. Yeah, come on.
I mean, to be fair, as a public health professional, yes, they should, because burping is a bodily function. It just happens. But anyway, yeah, she's flipping through the date diary right now. I love it.
So I was supposed to go out with this person on Tuesday, but we moved it to Wednesday because I ended up working late.
Okay.
And last week was a little bit weird too because I was house sitting. So instead of my normal 15-minute drive home, I had a 40-minute drive to where I was staying. So, made a little bit of a difference. We can.
Here, I'm going to pause. Okay, wait, before we go further, I always have to ask, where did you meet this person?
So we met on. Damn it! I closed my book.
You can't consult the date diary until we have the checking questions.
It was on Bumble.
Okay. And how old are they?
41.
41. Any kids?
No.
I was like, is he married? Like,
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay, presenting as single. Okay, I like this.
All right. So we were supposed to go out Tuesday, but we changed and we went to Wednesday instead.
Okay.
Because it worked better for me. And let's get this one out there. I'm not vegan. I like me a steak every once in a while.
I can't believe you missed the opportunity to say that you like meat in your mouth. I'll say it for you.
I mean, trying to be classy here. I did just belch. So, gotta balance it out. But no, so his name is John. Yeah. Because,
so last week we talked about Susie seems to collect people in her life named Sam at a pretty high rate. I mean, there's one that is a collectible, quote unquote, that she had nothing to do with. But beyond that, the rest of them, she seems to just collect them. And John, I now think, what's your John to Sam ratio in your life?
They're about even.
I was gonna say it feels like pretty neck and neck. Like, okay, anyway, so this person's name is John.
Yes, because I need more in my life.
Oh, what's their
Um,
job? That's right. We always ask about that.
all right, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea most about what this kid's deal is. Um, it was not a great date. We ended up going to get ice cream because he's vegan,
So
and
you
so
did not get ice cream then.
well, I got ice cream. He got vegan ice cream. I picked a place where I knew there was vegan options. So
Okay.
it was a boba tea shop that also did ice cream, which
Mm-hmm.
is really good. Like we'll have to go there because their gimmick is that they mix in cereal. So you can
Mm-hmm.
get like vanilla ice cream and they'll blend in like your favorite cereal and make it like, cinnamon toast crunch ice cream and then you put toppings on. It's fun. Um but yeah, he was painfully shy.
Hmm.
It was like pulling teeth to have a conversation with him. He was painfully shy. He also didn't buy my ice cream, which I thought was odd because he called it a date. I didn't.
That's so interesting because I was honestly about to ask who paid because I'm always interested in that because by the end of this we are going to be tallying up like how many dates you paid for, what apps you got the most dates from, what apps were the most successful in terms of
Oh, yeah.
longevity. So this is interesting. Okay. How did that work out? Did you order first or second? Because I always feel if you
No,
order first, it's like a little easier, quote unquote, to like assume the person behind you is going to pay. Which
no,
I'm not talking about right or wrong, just like I feel like socially.
well, and the girl taking the order gave him so he ordered first because he walked up
Okay.
there first. He ordered first, and then the girl taking the order looked at me and goes, "And we're together, right?"
Mm.
And he goes, "Oh well, separate's good."
You know what? Okay, I'm mixed feelings on this because now, I'm approaching this somewhat different. I'm always team Suze, always team Suze. However, I feel like and I know we are, I suppose someone might come for us and be like, that's such an old way of dating. Well, this is how we're doing it. This is how Suze does it. So, like, let that ship go, okay? Suze is not above or below paying or whichever the way you're not supposed to be. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know. You could pay for a whole date. You could pay for yourself. That's not the issue, okay? My thing is, if I were in a position where I societally felt like I always had to pay, I feel like this person responded in a way that I wouldn't be so too offended. Like, I'm removed, I'm not on that date, but I feel like if like you're a dude, a guy, or like a guy in our age range, with most of them do are the ones paying, or that was not a bad way to defer payment.
and I don't mind that, but it was more the reason I was like, "Huh?" was because he had said, "Hey, I'd like to take you out."
See, that's the thing. Then don't phrase it that way because you're not taking me anywhere. We're meeting up.
See, and that's where if he had said, "Hey, I want to meet up with you" or something, that's different. I wouldn't
So
expect him to pay.
if someone said, let's meet up for a date, would you still consider that a date?
Yes,
Okay.
and if they said the phrase "Let's meet up for a date," I would still expect them to pay because
Really?
they're labeling it as a date, and I do go with the traditional stereotypes of on a date the guy pays.
Okay, but isn't it? I mean, aren't all meetups from these dating apps a date? Like you're not on those. These apps aren't designed for people to make friends. Even Friend Finder, which I found out way too late. I mean, I was never on it, but Secret Life of the American Teenager had a whole freaking way too many episodes about it. That had nothing to do with friendship,
Yeah.
arguably. That had to do with with
Oh
sex
no, yeah.
worker relationships. Like, so even the app called Friend Finder.
Yeah,
See,
it's all about how it's phrased. It's the if you're asking me to meet up with you somewhere and you're labeling it as a date,
mm-hmm.
then I expect you to pay. It's the same as if I texted one of these guys and said, "Hey, I'd like you to come with me here and did this, and
Mhm.
it was my idea, and I'm saying come do this, and I'm doing this, I would I would offer to pay. A
Okay.
lot of it is it's and I mean, it seems weird, I get it, but a lot of it's just how it's phrased, and how he was phrasing it up till when we met was that he wants to take me out on a date.
Okay.
But then he didn't pay, which, whatever, not a big deal.
Right. It's
Uh,
not a deal breaker.
no, no, not a deal breaker at all. Got awkward though, because as I said, he's painfully shy,
Ugh.
and so didn't really talk, like, didn't like his version of outgoing is he was looking at my shoes instead of his own. Because he wasn't
Now,
really
how
looking
did
at
you
me.
guys connect? Like, how was your discussion
It
electronically?
was
Because
good.
you're a very outgoing person.
Well, and texting was good. Texting was going back and forth. Like, he wanted to exchange pictures. He, was making jokes. He drives a Tesla. And so he took a picture and he goes, "Oh, can you tell what type of car I have?" And I had to admit, I know nothing about cars. So I said a vehicle. He's like, "Do you know what I'm driving?" And I said a vehicle. But like, it went back and forth. And then we sort of got on the topic of the fact that he's vegan. And I was like,
Mhm.
"So why are you vegan?" Because, that's, normally there's a story, either, you chose it for the lifestyle, or, people have reasons for it.
Right.
Um, his was, "Well, I was raised vegetarian, so it wasn't a hard jump." So I was like, "Okay. I mean, that's okay. That's your reason." And
Yeah,
then
that's fair.
I started saying, so he started telling me about this meetup group that he found, that they go and try other vegan restaurants throughout the city,
Yeah.
or they just go to someone's house and they cook like vegan meals. And I was like, "Oh, that's great. Like, what are some of the ones you've gone to?" I always like trying new places, and I don't know a lot of vegan places,
Mhm.
which is where one of our big problems come with. I have very odd allergies.
Yes, you do. Hold
So
on.
I
Okay, so one of the things, so Susie and I live together, and when we lived together, we had a few other roommates, but like she and I decided groceries in our house most of the time were gonna be family style because we really did eat very similar
and we were
food
the
and
ones
ate
doing the grocery shopping.
great and ate it. Well, we also ate at the same rate because people come for roommates who shop this way. So like whatever, it worked for us. Also, if like I went shopping and just bought what I wanted, then I would just eat that and not share it. Like, but most of the time we just preferred it. It made us feel comfortable and whatever. So like I was buying bananas because I like bananas. And I was like, "Susie, why don't you ever really eat bananas?" And she goes, "It's not like I don't like them. I just don't like how they make your mouth feel." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "They kind of make your mouth feel like fuzzy and they kind of itch in your throat when you swallow them." I said, "That is not how bananas don't do anything to your mouth. It sounds like you're allergic." She's like, "No, I'm definitely not allergic to bananas. No way. They've always done this." And I'm like, "I feel like that sounds like an allergy." And then I think like a week later or 2 weeks later, it was so soon, you either had an allergy test or you like talked to your doctor. And here, you remember the second half of this.
It was So we'll go through my weird allergies are latex, avocados, hazelnuts, kiwis, bananas, and jackfruit.
Right. Allergic to avocados, hazelnut, and jackfruit.
And kiwis and bananas.
Okay.
So all of those.
Yeah.
I knew about the avocado, the hazelnut. I knew about some of them. Bananas was one of those. When I got my first allergy test, I was told I could be, but I didn't seem to be allergic to that. And then I went and got retested because it had been so many years. We were trying to see if my allergies how severe my allergies had gotten, or if they had gotten better.
Hmm.
And we added bananas for sure. So I got to come back and tell Sam that she was right. Bananas don't do that to other people, just the people who are allergic to them. Um, but But do you know what you eat a lot of if you're vegan? Just guess. What do you think one of the main ingredients is when you're vegan?
Bananas and avocados
And jackfruit.
and dates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You're allergic to you. I feel like you physically couldn't be vegan.
I can't be vegan because I'd die. I couldn't eat
You'll
anything.
starve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I'm the only person the doctors will say, don't be vegan. That's not the right choice. But it also means when he's telling me about all this great food and telling me to try it, I get to go, yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, maybe not that. I don't like the hospital that much, so maybe I won't go there.
Ugh. How long did this date last? It sounds like it lasted too long.
It did. It lasted an hour and a half because that's how long it took me to eat my ice cream. It was a good sized serving of ice cream.
Like trying to wolf it down.
I was.
Oh, okay.
I was trying. But then what made it even funnier is so then we leave.
Yeah.
And like 15 minutes later, I get a text from him saying, actually, you know what? I'm just going to read you the text message because that's what I'm going to do. Gotta find it.
I love a good text message. Read.
Yeah, we'll just read what I got was, sorry, I'm terrible at reading people. Don't know if you wanted to hug or kiss. I definitely wanted to, or more. Anyways, thanks for the meeting.
Oh my god. I don't even care if you had the best date. That's a terrible text message.
Oh, it gets better. Because I
Oh,
responded
okay.
with, no, it was fine that we just said goodbye. Thanks again for meeting up. It was a nice conversation. Glad you had a good time. I just did a thumbs emoji. Then I got a good morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the feeling you're looking for something serious. I definitely like you, but don't want to give you the wrong impression or waste your time. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I got busy that day at work, and I didn't respond right away. So that was 8:45 in the morning. At
Yeah.
7:50 that night, I got, wow, didn't expect you to ghost me. Thought you were nice. Well, take care, I guess. To which I just was upset and I go,
Wow.
hey, wasn't trying to ghost you, just was a long day and was trying to figure out how to respond. You were right. I am looking for something serious. Thanks for being honest. Oh, okay, no problem. It happens. All right, well, if you ever change your mind and want to have fun, let me know. And I just go, okay,
This
I'll keep that in mind. Goodbye. That would be
this
amazing.
guy sounds like a walking contradiction. Oh, what
We
else?
could
Sorry.
just watch Netflix and cuddle. I don't think so.
Oh
Well,
my
who cares
god.
about Netflix and chill? Just Netflix and cuddle. Or spoon. Yeah, I think I'm good. Really? Are you busy tonight? And then I stopped texting him.
Oh
And
my.
he was
Okay. Why didn't you lemon
painfully
law?
shy. I should have. I should have.
That was a missed lemon law opportunity.
It was. Yeah, no, he was painfully shy. And it
Yeah, this guy, like I said, sounds like a walking contradiction that like on his phone, he thinks he on his phone, I think he has more confidence. I think it's an overinflated sense of confidence. But like, read the room, bro. And now I'm also curious because I haven't seen your dating profile and maybe you should like screenshot. I mean, I know I will be able to like physically see you in several months and I'm very excited. That's
so
like
am
that
I.
side. But does it say on your profile like that you're looking for something serious or
Yes.
um
All of
yes,
my
okay.
profiles say
Cuz
long
I
term.
Perfect. I do like though, despite the like these rough dates, all of the gentlemen do seem to pick up, maybe both by your profile and whatever it is you guys are saying, that you are looking for something serious. So I'll give you that. I'm not going to give them that because if a woman says it clear as day, then it's like you don't get brownie points because you listened to a sentence. But like I'm giving you that feedback. Like that's good in the sense of like in your dating journey, you're being clear and you're either putting out the vibe or being very explicit of what you want. So there's a
No,
positive.
yes, and I like that. I do. There was one of them, the one who had just gotten out of rehab, that I did respond to him and said, thank you. I do want a serious relationship. Thank you for letting me know you're not interested in that. By the way, maybe you want to change your profile because you say you are interested in a long-term relationship on your profile. Because everybody
Nice.
that I've said yes to does say they want a long-term thing, not just because if they come and start talking to me but say all I want is something casual, I just say no.
Mhm.
So that, yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I was supposed to have, so that was that date. I was supposed to have another first date with a guy named Jay, but I was tired and he pushed back our date, so I asked to reschedule instead because he was like, "Hey,
You were
let's push
tired and
it
he
back."
did what?
He pushed back the date. He wanted to make it later in the day. So, and I was tired, so I was like, "Hey,
Oh,
let's just do it a different day." And we have it. We're rescheduled for the 16th.
okay. So, did you have any date on Wednesday?
That no,
Okay. So, Thursday.
that was the date that we rescheduled for the 16th. So I didn't end up with a date on Thursday.
Wow. This is like the most nights off you've had. Okay. Friday.
I had a date, but it's not a first date.
Oh my gosh. Is this the teacher?
Yes, this was our third date.
Oh my gosh. I'm in love. Okay. So, where did you go? Let's start with that. Where'd you go?
Um, so to change things up, he came to my place. The
Wait.
last two times he took me out.
So, he knows where you live.
He does.
Does he have your real phone number?
He does.
Does he know you are on a dating podcast?
No.
That's fine. 2 for 3. 2 out of 3 is fine.
Yes. But no, so this was our third date. So he came over and I made dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which wasn't bad. Chicken, couscous, an Asian chopped salad, and then for appetizers, I had a baked brie and I had cotton candy grapes. Just a little something to snack on, But yeah, no. So he came over,
Mm-hmm.
and I was finishing up cooking, so we were eating the snacks and hanging out talking,
Mm-hmm.
and then we sat down and ate dinner, and we had a bottle of wine with dinner.
And
And then after dinner, we sat on the sofa and just were talking. Like, no TV, no movie, just we're talking the whole time. I had gotten a new record, so we put a record on.
okay, Grandma.
Hey, I like my vinyls.
What else do you like? What's a TV show that you like that you own a box set of?
Uh, I love the TV show MASH, and I don't care who hates it. It is amazing. I own the DVDs, I own the VHSs, I own the CED of the final episode, which anybody who can go figure out what a CED is without having to Google it, you can take me out. Sam's looking at me like, shit, I'm supposed to know this because she showed it to me and I have no idea what it is.
I don't. I don't. I no.
She's gonna
Anyways,
Google it. She's gonna Google it later.
I'm gonna fight with Google right now. So I will Bing it or
Ask
Yahoo.
Jeeves.
Yeah, I'll
Ask
ask
Jeeves.
Jeeves. About as old as that. Okay, so
I love Mash. He also likes Mash.
date 3, everyone seems to like a lot of the same things. Like, I'm not saying he's lying, but like I confirm or deny early dates. If you even have heard of something or kind of like something, but you really like the person, you're like, oh my god, me too. Like, and then several months later, you're like, actually, like I didn't
I
like
just
it
know
that
what it
much.
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
I just know what it is.
but then after the bottle of wine, we moved to some bourbon and just had some bourbon on the
What
rock.
kind of bourbon? What kind of bourbon?
So we drank a local distillery here. We were
Boo.
drinking that one. It's pretty good.
Boo.
You enjoyed it last time you were here. You said it was pretty good too, miss.
The only reason I'm booing is because I lived in Bourbon County.
No, I know. It was because I also had Woodford Reserve and I had Jefferson Reserve and I had a few other bottles,
Well,
but
save
they hadn't
Woodford
been
for
opened
me.
yet.
That's my favorite.
Oh, I always have that one.
Ah.
Um, but yeah, so we were drinking some bourbon, hanging out, talking, and then it was about midnight, and we said our goodbyes, and he went home because he's a good Southern gentleman. So,
You know what?
and to
Again,
ask you, yes, I know what his tongue was tasting like on Friday night. We were having a lovely makeout session.
my point is, I lived in the South. I went out with a good Southern gentleman. So, like, don't come at me with, like, oh, he was so prim and proper and sat on the other side of the couch. And,
Oh, no, he did.
So, this was a mask off date then. I'm just kidding.
Yes. No, it was definitely a mask off, definitely making out. But was it
I
good?
went
Something else? He left. He went
with
home. He
this
did
one,
not sleep over.
didn't no sleepover. Okay, well, you were going to find out if this person was ever married, and their stance on kids. I don't know if you cover that in this state, but I know those were things we were looking to find out about this person.
Not hasn't been married and does want kids.
Okay. And you and I did talk about this. So it wasn't technically dating, it was a question. I asked Susie out of respect, and because I can, I was like, "Can I ask this question on the podcast because I'm curious to hear your answer?" So I'd asked you to ask again, obviously, unless our audience are mind readers and you have developed mind reading. Is it a red flag or is it less attractive, um, or more attractive, I guess, if a man who comes up on your profile or someone who you're dating is of a certain age and has never been married and never engaged?
Nope, not a red flag at all for me.
So it's not more or less attractive.
No, just same as everybody else. Doesn't swing me one way or the other. However, your follow up question last
Uh
time
huh.
was about if they had been married and are divorced, is that a red flag? And yes, it is, because I take marriage very seriously and I only want to do it once. So,
Mm-hmm.
what happened in your previous marriage that it ended in divorce? I, I want to know that
Mm-hmm.
story. I want to know what happened there.
Right. Yeah.
So, same
Okay.
as kids, not a red flag one way or the other. However, how you treat your child's mother could be a red flag.
Totally. Totally.
So,
Okay, so that's Friday. Oh, and because I'm clearly now invested, what are your plans to see each other next?
we don't have plans for our next date because it was Easter weekend.
Boo.
So we spent the weekend with family. Way to boo Easter.
Boo. So and just again, the one snippet of information that I know, but I want you to share with everybody. How often are you and the teacher texting each other? So you're at day 3. What's the texting like?
We text each other daily. There are a few times where like I have sent a message or he has sent a message and it doesn't get responded till the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Like this weekend, Saturday, I sent a message and he
Mm-hmm.
didn't respond till Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But it was oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice this. I was with my family.
Right. Boo.
So, yes, but we do text every day.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, because that little
Doesn't
ding
it?
when you told me to silence my phone was the
Mm-hmm.
message, because my computer is synced to my text messages. So it was him
Mm.
messaging me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Any dates Saturday? Because I know that this was a holiday weekend.
No. I had taken Saturday off because there was a friend who came in from out of town.
Mm-hmm.
So went to go have brunch with him, and we did a really long hike in the morning. So while I'm sure I could have pulled off a date, I just didn't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this isn't you're not under contract. Like, I've been impressed with the fervency you've been attacking this. I sent you a TikTok, I think it was today, even a woman went on 50 dates in a year. And I texted Susie and I said, 50 dates. Ha 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 ha. Child's play. Um, you know,
That being said, I do have several dates set up for this week already because I
oh
have a
my.
lunch date tomorrow.
A lunch date.
I do. He works nights, so we're gonna go during my lunch break, his breakfast,
That's cute.
and have. I was also supposed to. The bartender
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go on another date, so we were supposed to hang out, and we were supposed to hang out on Sunday. And then I got a text at like late in the evening of, "Oh my goodness, I forgot it was Easter. I'm so sorry."
Okay, listen, I might use veto power on the bartender. I'm not feeling this one. I'm not feeling it. Like we're this is like long-term potential. I feel
Yeah,
like
no.
I feel like the bartender is like I think he'd be fun. I think he'd be exercise. I think you'd have a good time with him. Like
I think
it's
he'd be
not
great if I was 23.
yeah, but still not marriage. Like he'd be
Well,
like a
yeah.
fuck around dude. Uh so I okay, since you're seeing that, I don't know. I mean, you do you. But I just don't feel like he is fitting in with who you're looking for. And I honestly believe time spent with him, even engaging with him, it's like lost time.
Yeah, no, I'm like, no,
Just for
we're done.
what you want. Like, he sounds like a decent enough guy, but
He's
like,
really
meh.
fun, and it's like, I have no problem
Boo!
staying friends. I have no problem staying friends with him and like being like, oh, you're going out drinking? Cool, I'll tag along. But no.
No, no, no. I have this. Wait, last week I told you you had to get the guy who was just sober with the guy who's like what his ex-girlfriend or something. She was an alcoholic and now you need to set all them up with the bartender. Oh my god, you are going to have the best bro gang that like you'll never
Oh, yeah.
see, but they'll be so happy.
I mean, they'll have a great time. I think he'll be a great friend to have because the bar he works at, I really enjoy. So, sure, I'll stay on good terms with him because I have no problem with him
Yeah.
giving me free drinks when I show up because we're friends.
There you go. Yeah, tread lightly for sure. Like, and this I think you'll know what to do, but my vote is cut him loose.
Yeah, he's
Cut him
not
from
home.
the roster.
Uh, Say, especially when you stand me up. So,
Yeah, fact. And forget it's Easter. I'm Jewish, and even I knew it was Easter. Um,
yeah,
okay, so you have how many dates are you projecting for this week?
I have 3 set up right now for this week. And they're
Okay,
all
and
3 first dates.
wonderful. And this week, so I've already just forgotten, you had 3 dates.
Yes.
Okay, so you've had 17 total.
Oh, no, sorry. Only one of them counted, though.
Oh, the math. Okay. That's
I've had
right. Oh my God.
14 total.
14 total. Okay. So we have 186 left to go, but 14, I mean, you're chipping away at this. And like I said, I think it sounds fun. I don't think you've ever heard back from, but I'm just curious. Has your king referred to you as his queen?
He did text me and ask how I was once, and then just never. That was it.
Yeah.
He really just wanted to hook up, but it was really fun to be called his queen, and
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think this one got away. I've just been like, he came out swinging hard with that one. And I'm like,
oh yes,
and
he
now
did.
you just fall away. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no. So no word from him.
And now I did want to ask, because we had touched on this earlier when you were telling some of your close friends that you're doing this. Does anyone in your family know that you are discussing your dating life and how you're approaching it in a very public manner?
My sister knows.
And is she older or younger? I know, but
Yeah. So this is my older sister. So I'm one of three kids. We're all 5 years apart. So my sister's 5 years older than me because I'm the middle. She knows what's going on. No one else in my family knows because, one, we've already talked about my sex life on this,
yes, we
and
have.
I have an agreement with my parents
And
that
what agreement is that?
there are two people's sex life that I want nothing to do with, I want to know nothing about, and that would be my parents. As far as I'm concerned, my parents have had sex 3 times and that's it, and they've had a lovely, happy marriage. That's all they needed. They got 3 perfect times and they were good. My mother's opinion is there are 3 people she wants to know nothing about their sex life, which would be her 3 children. And we're fine with this. According to her, I'm a virgin, and I will be a virgin until she gets a grandkid. That's the only way that's changing.
It's always interesting to me the parent and adult child dynamic when it comes to their sex life. It's different in my house. It's not that it's such an open topic, but my parents always kind of made sure that like we knew that they were happy and in love, and that without being vulgar, like I never felt like they never discussed details, but they were clear that they had an intimate relationship. And um like I think I told you once or twice in the span of kind of my adulthood, and I think when my mother just made an educated guess of like, I'm pretty sure that like she's had sex. She's just asked like, you know, do you have a good sex life? Or I hope you have a healthy sex life, I think she might have said. And I was a little taken aback because I did feel like, wow, that's a little, but I just said, yeah, I do. Like it's all good. And I said, and just so you know, if my partner doesn't satisfy me throughout the week, I am perfectly capable of handling my own. And she kind of laughed at that. And then I didn't realize how I'd said it. And I was like, oh, that is funny. And then beyond that, she periodically was like, and birth control? How's that going for you? And I go, do you see a grandkid? We're doing good. So it, it is interesting to me. I do have quite a bit of friends who I think their parents subscribe to that same kind of mentality that your parents do. They don't want to know about it. They don't want to hear about it. They refuse. And I mean, it's not like I talk very openly with them about it because I do think it's something relatively private. Like if you're not invited, then like don't worry about it. Um
Oh, the irony though is my parents would talk to you about your sex life
yes,
all day
they would.
long.
I know. Your mother has talked to me
I know. My mother,
in front
yours,
of you.
I know, which we had to bring up our rule of, Mom, you can talk about Sam's, you can't talk about your own, so please stop making the carpet cleaner jokes with the whipped cream.
It's pretty funny.
It is. But yeah. But everybody else is just her children. And my parents are very much like open and honest and will talk to people, and all my friends have gone to my parents about sex and talking about things like relationships with them. But if I ever did, my mother would go, well, your friends, their parents know about things too.
What is that? What?
She'd have me go talk to your mother about sex.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what is she talking about? Oh, that's fine. My mom would do it. She wouldn't care.
I know. Yeah.
But and we'll start shifting away from talking about your parents because no, we're not really trying to talk much about either of our families on here. But for whatever self-disclosure this is, her parents are very much in a loving, happy, committed relationship that they want and that they're in. And I definitely and see them show signs of affection, not just physical signs, but like time, energy, and commitment. So I love that this works for your family. It's definitely different in my family. And isn't that the thing? Families decide what works for them. But to put this out there, if it ever makes it back to your parents, it's very clear from an observer, and I know from their own child, that they are very much happy, wink, and in love. Always has a smile on her face. I'm just saying, and so does your dad.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad that you kind of got like a dating break. So, before we wrap up tonight, I'm curious, which app so far do you feel you've had like the most success? And are you going to define success by where you found the teacher?
Well, so Facebook date seems
Yeah.
to be if I want to go out right now and have a date to add to this, Facebook date is the place to go. I can find
Hmm.
someone an hour willing to meet up.
Wow. Okay.
Bumble seems to be sort of a mix of like let's meet up right away and let's actually talk. And Hinge seems to be the one where it's actually people looking for relationships.
Okay.
So that's
Hmm.
where I'm sort of going. Bumble and Facebook dates seem to be more geared towards hooking up.
Okay. Then
And yes, I did
maybe
meet the teacher on Hinge.
this week we focus on Hinge. Okay. And so 3 dates in, and everyone goes about this differently. And I mean, this is somewhat of a leading question, but at what point do you think, or would you typically pull back from dating other people? And while you think about that, I'm going to put this out to whoever is listening, and I will speak specifically to any male viewer. If you have not defined that you and the woman you're dating are both not seeing other people, it is fair to assume she is seeing multiple people. You're probably on a rotation. Um, I know that when I was in college, I was dating this guy who later did become my boyfriend, but at the time, he was probably one of like 7 different guys who I was seeing. I preferred him and I wanted to see him more, but we were not committed. I had asked him to a sorority event cuz yes, I was in a sorority. And he kind of gave me the runaround and was like, "Well, I don't know, maybe yes or no." And I didn't like that. And I said, "Oh, okay, you don't have to go. Don't worry about it." And he goes, "Well, I don't want you to go alone." And I said, "Don't worry, I won't. You were just the first phone call I made. I have plenty of I have plenty of gentlemen who would love to come with me." Um and as a mic drop, I did ask someone else, kind of number 2 on my roster, and they said, "Absolutely, no, like I'd love to go with you. Thank you for asking." I screenshotted it, I blocked their name and number and sent it to him, which might have been a flex. Maybe it was petty, maybe it was passive aggressive. I don't know. But my point was, I wasn't just like talking on my ass. And
Yeah.
then he said, "I can't believe you're seeing other people." And I said, "Why can't you believe that? You're not my boyfriend." And I said, "And you made that clear. Like you said, I want to be clear that I like you and we're dating, but we're not in a committed relationship." And I said that's fine for now. 2 weeks later, after my event, uh, we had a DTR. I wish that it was a romantic kind of DTR, but the first round of it was I was out at a club and decided to call him. And I was like, "You're who I want to be with." I've got a list, but you. And then the next day woke up and he was like, did you still mean that? And I was like,
And
yeah.
then we had to tell you what you said.
Can we get brunch? Um, no. Yeah,
No,
I don't know if that plan will work for anyone else, but it worked for me.
no. If we keep going down this road and dating and getting more serious, then yeah, it would be a discussion about defining the relationship and not
Mhm.
necessarily the hey, are we an exclusive? Not the hey, are you my boyfriend? But
Right.
I have done before, like, if we get towards date, like 7 or 8, especially if we're seeing each other more than just like, oh, once a week. Like right now, we're seeing each other once a week. If we're
Right.
starting to talk more regularly and, see each other more, I probably would say, hey, just out of curiosity, are you seeing other women?
Mhm.
And just give him the option because, I'm obviously seeing other men. So I would ask if he's seeing other women. If the answer is yes, I definitely would then ask, so is there someone that you're really hoping to have a relationship with? And I'm just hey, we're going out? Or
Mhm.
do you want to see if this relationship would actually work?
Wow.
So I would definitely bring it up and put that because yeah, no, if I'm getting to the point where we're going out on date 10 or whatever, I probably wouldn't want to. No, I don't really want you going out with other people.
Right. Right.
Especially if you're spending the night at my house, I don't want you spending the night at anyone else's.
Hey man, I understand that vibe. And for anybody who wants to know, we didn't go into too much of it, but Susie in episode 1 was clear on the things that like she wanted and didn't want, and for her, polyamory is not something that she wants for herself or for her relationship. So that's all we're gonna say on that, because I do not think I'm really in a place to comment beyond if it works for you, then you do you, boo. So that's where I stand, and I'm pretty sure Suze is there too. So just to clarify,
Yes, I'm
that's
not
her.
opposed to other people having it. I just know I don't want it.
Yeah, she doesn't want it in her relationship. So there we go for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, date 10. Well, I don't want to put pressure on that. I think it's really cute how it's growing, and I definitely see you light up when you check in. Um so I guess the plan this week is drop the bartender.
Yes.
Yeah, in a nice way. Buy him
Also,
but get him an Uber gift card.
so random tangent, because this happened while we were recording this.
Mhm.
Got a notice on Facebook Messenger that hey, you have a message request from someone who's not one of your friends, whatever that is. Look at it. It's this guy Pete who years ago went on a couple dates with him.
Mhm.
Went on a couple dates with him. Um, and this is how I know I don't want a polyamorous relationship because he was in a polyamorous relationship and
Mm.
went on a couple dates with him. He reached out to me of, hey, saw a memory come up when we ran into each other at that football game, and would love to catch up. Would love to do. So he wants to take me out to catch up, and he just responded and goes, by the way, I am now separated from my ex, and I am not seeing anyone else. I'm not with anyone. So trying to decide if I go meet up with him and say
Huh.
hi.
It's
I'm thinking I will because I just want to see because he was very much about the poly lifestyle and he was very much like, no, this is great. And I want to be like, now all of a sudden you're not, it seems like. I'm sorry, what happened?
I mean, people change, things change. We learn and we grow. I think I not that you have to ask my approval, but I approve of this, and I also think that this should it would need to be a date though, not
Yes.
like a let's like
Catch
a
up. I
catch
want an
up.
actual date. Yeah.
Yeah, for it to count towards the 200. Otherwise, just like as like a former person who you went out with or whatever, like then that's just someone to check in with. Which could be cool too if it is just like a checking in, because it'd be interesting to like tell him what you're doing. But if it's a
Oh yeah,
date and you're interested, then maybe like keep that play that hand close to the vest.
I'm not sure if I would actually be interested because I was like, in my mind, I'm still like, no, you're poly. Like
Right.
that's not what I want.
And as a reminder, the teacher knows you're doing this podcast.
No.
Darn it. I was getting the teacher confused with the bartender. See, you got to drop the bartender because I'm like getting them confused. Bartender's gone, teacher's in. I've cut him from the roster. I don't want to hear about him next week. He's better be off the team.
Okay.
But when I come and visit, I want you to take me to his bar and point him out because I want to like see who this bartender is. That's the
Almost
other
at his
thing.
bar. He can make you drinks and you go, hey, I'm the other half of the podcast.
Exactly, exactly. Perfect. I love it. We'll do a podcast from the bar. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna set this marketing thing up. We will have a speed date meet and greet at the bar. It's gonna be great. I love it. Susie's okay, so basically we've decided that Susie's more information about her will be revealed within the next 3 months.
Yep.
That's plenty of time.
Love it.
Well, it sounds like you had quite a week of maybe restoration because you've definitely been going out a lot and you have a lot more on the horizon. You are 14 dates in,
Yes, I am.
186 to go, 200 first dates, one true love. All right, until next week, thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.